O'Reilly in the Unresolved Problems segment tonight. There is no question that President Obama's entire administration has been badly damaged by the oil spill. So, is the president on the comeback trail after his speech this evening? Joining us now from Washington, Fox News analyst Charles Krauthammer. Well, is he in a comeback trail mode here, Charles?
No, he's not, because speech won't stop the spill. It won't stop the pollution of the beaches. I think he gave it a good shot. He looked sincere for most of it. He'll get a point or two for a day or two, and then the story will be the spill, and it'll be the spill cam and not his speech.
He looked sincere for most of it. When did the phony look?
Well, that's high praise coming from me.
When did the phony look appear?
Well, you know, look, I thought he was workmanlike in the first part of the speech where he talked about what we're doing, and as you pointed out earlier in the show, it's a fiasco, the rescue, the cleanup. So, you know, he's saying, I have this number of people, this number of feet of the boom. You know, that's not extremely impressive. Where he did get sort of interested in his own speech was when he did that thing you just showed about the future. He said, if we could land on the man on the moon, so why not have this glorious green energy? That's the most tired trope we've ever heard. People have said, if you can land a man on the moon, so why can't you cure cancer? Well, we can't. We don't know how to. You land a man on the moon, why can't we abolish poverty? Because we have no idea how to do that. And this idea that we're going to create a green economy by legislating it in Congress is absurd. You know, if we could, we would have. I mean, we've poured billions into ethanol. It still isn't economic. Jimmy Carter poured billions into syn fuels. It was a disaster. We have no idea how to replicate anything as incredibly efficient, portable, and room temperature friendly as petroleum. And that's why it might happen in decades, but the idea that if you legislate it, if you want it, if a president wills it, it's going to happen is absurd.
Well, that was my point at the top of this analysis program, that the country's on the verge of bankruptcy now. More than anything, I would like to see alternative fuel. I absolutely would love to see fuel cells work. I'd love to see nukes heat our homes. I'd love to do all that. But at this juncture in history, and you're a more analytical guy than I am, I don't see anything that's even 10, 15 years away. And to take hundreds of billions of dollars and throw it up against the wall in some hope, we're going to go right over the financial cliff. Nobody will be able to afford oil if we keep this up. Am I wrong?
You're absolutely right. And look, the president for months was speaking about Spain as a great example of a country investing in solar cells. Well, it's now about to go under economically. It's about to go bankrupt. It's had to shut down all of these government-sponsored, money-losing programs on solar cells. The reason is they are not economical if you compare them with oil or coal or natural gas or nuclear. They simply aren't even near. All you can do, as you say, is to throw trillions of dollars at it to subsidize them. But look, in a free enterprise economy, do you think if there's anybody who didn't have an idea that would invent or create or find renewable energy that would be comparable to oil or coal, he wouldn't be at it because he'd become a trillionaire?
Absolutely. But
right. So it isn't as if incentives don't exist out there.
The big boys, ExxonMobil and these people, they have no incentive to do that. They want to continue in their business and do what they do. But you're right, the MIT people, if they had something, they would bring it. Now, finally, and this is a very interesting question, we talked about the New York Times article, and you mentioned it, that said the cleanup right now is a fiasco. There's no coordination. But the President of the United States then goes on 12 hours after that article comes out and says it isn't a fiasco, we're doing fine, my administration has all the resources in place it should have. So the people at home are going, are we being lied to? And this disturbs me, this kind of, what do you think is the truth here?
I think it is a fiasco, but on the other hand, it's an unprecedented, unanticipated disaster. Governments are human. I don't have the Obama idea of government as omnipotent, all-knowing, all-seeing, etc. I think it's fallible, and it is. So I'm not disappointed because I wouldn't expect as much. In Katrina, we also were fallible. Yes, World War II, we succeeded, but the first year and a half were a disaster. It isn't as if automatically government gets it right. So I think it is a disaster, but I wouldn't have expected it. It's very complicated. The government is inherently uncoordinated. So what's happening is what you would expect to happen.
All right. So President's putting a happy face on a situation that's
Exactly.
utterly
Presidents always
predictable.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Charles, thanks very much. We appreciate it as always.